We are live. We are live. We are live. I'm Rel Purnell. You see my co-host on the other end, J Hall Agent. We got a special guest in the middle. Yes, network is my network. Yep. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. We got Aarin Cummings. Man, she's an entrepreneur. She's a hairstylist. She's a chef. She's a part of multiple brands, and she's gonna give us the rundown of what she's all about as well. First and foremost, I would like to thank you for coming on our platform and blessing us with 45 minutes of your time. But if you can just give all the viewers who's going to be watching this live as well as the replay a quick rundown of who you are, where you're from, and the brands you're a part of.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm very happy to be here today with you guys. My name is Aarin Cummings. I'm originally from Baltimore, East Coast, but I've been living in LA for over 7 years now. So people say I'm an LA resident. I love it, but I'm still bi-coastal because I have business on each coast and also family. So first, I would say well, all of my businesses, I express myself. So, like, I feel like my first business is love, to be honest, because I don't really do things that I don't want to do, especially, what I don't love to do. So, my first business was doing hair, and I started that on the East Coast, which got me the opportunity to own my own hair salon there. So, I really just like that for adding to people in the community, making people feel good, and it's a good career. But aside from that, I wanted to get into acting and modeling. So that's originally what brought me to Los Angeles at 19. So after I got into that a little bit and really I guess got my feet wet with it, I was like, I have time to do other things. So that's when I started my lingerie brand and just started working with just, shooting people more because I love photography. I'm also a photographer. So I started taking more pictures of models and just networking even more. And then when me and my fiance met, we instantly started working on the brand that he started on his own together. So that's 21 Rich, and that's what we work on every day now, and along with everything else. So then over some more time of just getting that going, we decided that it would be a good idea. I had a space in Baltimore to open another business there. So that's where my CBD shop came into play. So Calm Body Daily, where you guys pulled up last year for the grand opening. That's amazing. That's a CBD shop that's geared towards just more holistic healing and just kind of gets away from, things that just sugarcoat, I guess, pain or ailments or sickness in the body and gets to real, healing and just natural fixing of things. Which brings me a lot of joy because I'm anti-pills. I'm anti prescriptions and just things that cause other problems in the body. So that's what we're trying to get away from. And at the same time, we carry local brands. So it's great for people to get exposure in the shop and just give them the opportunity to do pop-up shops and have people to shop their products locally at a storefront. So I love giving that opportunity. And even just when we do the business walk, like we just did last weekend, it's just a good storefront and a good space for the community to just come out and kind of it's just almost 30 businesses that's ran out of those buildings alone. So yeah. Shout out my mom. So just really, it's just all about bringing the community together. And I just love that because it's just a cute little fun space, but it's good things inside too and good people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So then along with that, my fiance, he used to always ride slingshots. Yeah. So we decided to get one of those and start renting that out in LA. So now we have a little slingshot that we rent out in downtown LA, which is really fun. I like driving it because it's stick, but our goal is to have a couple sticks for automatic and just have fun with it.
Yeah. No, that's dope. You know how to drive a manual. That's dope.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's honestly it's my favorite, over the automatic, because it's just more engaging. It's just more you can get up and go.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. The Saab manual, I just really taught myself how to redrive a manual perfectly. Yeah, I'm still not perfect at it.
My fiance had to show me, and it trust me, it was plenty of times that the car cut off, and I was like, "What to do?"
Right.
But I love it. So then I would say my most precious baby right now, what we work on, And what I actually bought to Baltimore last weekend when I was there was taste buds. So for the longest time, my fiance would be like, "You need to sell your food. This food is so good. Like with every meal he's eating, like you should sell this. Like, oh my God, everybody would love this." And I even put like a recipe on YouTube that just went kind of crazy. You know, everyone was waiting for the recipe. So I was like, bet I'm going to start selling my food. So we started that at the top of the year, and that's been going amazing. Like we've been booking like from house parties to like mansion parties in the hills, like open events, private events, and also selling on a weekly basis. So that's been keeping me really busy, but also, you know, giving me great fulfillment and joy. And the goal with that is a food truck, then another food truck, and a restaurant, and then restaurants all over.
Hustle. From what I'm hearing of that mouthful is hustle, hustle, hustle. When I pulled up, it was a gentleman talking to you. And what he mentioned to you, from what I got out of the conversation, was um, you've been a hustler since I known you. Like you was 14,
Oh,
you was like my class, and you was like grinding, you was hustling like a full grown adult.
yeah.
Um, Salute to you on that. But I want to kick it off with the beginning. Let's start from the beginning. How did you like? Where did this hustle come from?
Honestly, it came from my mom. My mom is very honestly, she's the best example of a parent. Like I'm gonna mimic her for all of my children because she literally just had me in everything. Like I was telling someone earlier today, my mom, like every time she would write in her checkbook, she would show me like, okay, we got this. Now we had to pay this and we have to pay this, but did we eat yet? You know what I'm saying? So it's like accountability and just also awareness of what's going on around you. Like, you like to spend money, so I hope you like to make money. And there's so many different avenues to do that. So it's just fun because people make $1 million off of coffee beans. You can make money doing anything. So you might as well figure out what you love and tap in and learn about it and expand. So I just do that in everything, but also my goal overall is to make the world a better place. So any way I could do that, I'm just like, let's do it.
Love it, love it, love it. Talking to you, Jay.
So, first, it's a pleasure to meet you, Aaron. Thank you for coming on our show and familiarizing myself with you. The first thing that I realized was like, yo, this woman is embarrassing me. Like, I thought I was a
What?
hustler. I thought I was a hustler. I really fashioned myself as a hustler. And then one page leads to another page that leads to another page. And it's bigger than pages because they're all businesses.
Yes.
And I'm like, man, I'm only sleeping a few hours a night. Like I'm hustling. My first question for you is when do you sleep? Because I'm looking at my schedule and my business and what I'm managing, and I'm like, clearly she's getting 30 hours worth of work done in 24. So when do you sleep? How do you manage all of these businesses and brands?
Honestly speaking, I'm not ashamed, but I'm low key ashamed to say I got 2 hours of sleep last night. Cause like my mind will just be like up, and I'll just think about so many things. Like for one little business, I have all of these ideas. Like just for my business of acting and modeling, I have so many ideas of just directing, voiceover work, print model, commercial model, like campaigns. I'm thinking about so many different avenues in that. Being a movie star, getting my star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It's just so many things that I want to do. So it's just like sometimes, like even last night, my fiance is like, "Hun, why didn't you take melatonin? Like you need to lay down, like, because I just want to keep going. Like it's just balance in there, but also like being true to yourself. If you have ideas you want to write down at 4 a.m., I say do it because that's when the best ideas come. That's when no one else is pulling on you or just like, just you don't have to be anywhere. So I love to work through the night, honestly, but I try to get a little sleep in here and there because I don't want to look like I don't get sleep.
Well, first off, I appreciate you being honest and transparent about that. And I think, now entrepreneurship, and we talk about it a lot on the show, it's a buzzword. Everyone wants to be an entrepreneur, start a business, and all of that is fine until you get outside. Like when you get
Mm-hmm.
off the porch and you become an entrepreneur, it ain't, you know, as someone who, so both of our backgrounds, we came from corporate America before we became entrepreneurs.
Mhm.
And, you think you work a lot, right? You go, you do your 10 to 12 hours a day, you come home, you eat your dinner. As an entrepreneur, there's no 9 to 5 schedule. Like there's no, oh, I'm gonna clock out at this time and then I'm gonna relax and watch shows. Like I'm so behind on, it's certain things I'm up to date on television. But people be mentioning shows to me and I'm like, dude, like I've been grinding for months. I'll get to it in 22. I'll finally watch it then.
I don't really watch TV. I don't.
It's hard to find the time.
Yeah.
I wanted to transition into one of your specific days, Calm Body Daily. CBD, the CBD space. I've had my eye on for a while because my dad, God bless the dead, had a lot of injuries. My father was a war veteran, had injuries from being in the military for years, and probably like maybe almost 5 years ago, one of his doctors was like, "Yo, we want to start having you use these CBD ointments and creams."
Mm-hmm.
And he was real reluctant because it was like, coming from being a business owner as well, it's like, man, I don't want somebody to see me with this CBD stuff and think, man, is he smoking weed? Like, what's up with him? Because people don't necessarily know what it is. But, up until when he passed last year, it did wonders for his body. And over that time, I've seen the space grow. But it feels like with you already having a business and a brick and mortar location open already, that you were ahead of the curve in seeing that it makes sense. And yes, I agree with you 100%. There are plenty of people that feel like holistic medicine is more of a change as opposed to the Western idea of medicine. But a lot of those people don't put their money behind it and say, I'm going to put a brand on the street. What led you to, you seem like a talented individual, you could put your money into whatever. Why CBD?
Honestly, because it seemed like the future. And to be honest, it's not until the day I opened and so many people was like, because I live in LA. Like I'm like everyone in LA knows, everyone in LA smokes. Everyone in LA knows CBD. So it's not until my opening day when I had, my hair clients who were 50 plus, like, well, Aarin, is it weed in this? And I'm like, well, it's less than 0.02% THC in it. Like, it's not going to come up on a test. You're not going to be like mind altered high or whatever. Like, it's true healing. It's not until that time where I was like, whoa, we're like way ahead of the curve. Like, I have to explain
right.
To people when they come in, because I'm thinking like, oh, people already know this is the good stuff. But it's great because then it gives me an opportunity to teach people and enlighten and really give them that first experience to, wow, this works. Throw that other stuff in the trash, like throw whatever chemicals, whatever is just sugarcoat and stuff and not really healing me, throw that out because this is real healing and it's a good price and it's natural and, it's just so many benefits to it.
Awesome. And I agree 100%. And I can't wait to pop in there and try and see the location myself and talk to my clients about it. Because I do see the value in the space. And trust me, in 5 or 10 years, we won't be having this conversation. It'll get to the point where CVS and Safeway supermarket will have it next to the bread. People just gotta catch on and come onto the wave. But I'll toss it back to you, bro.
All right, so you spoke about LA, transition to LA. A lot of people aspire. Back in the day, used to be, I want to go to Hollywood.
Oh yeah,
one day. Now it's, I want to make it to LA. I want to make it to LA. To be whatever, a model, singer, rapper, actor, whatever. Right? You made it there. Salute to you on that. What went into the thought process of you transitioning to go to LA? And I've seen you doing amazing things in LA. Can you speak on how that transition has elevated you to a whole nother level?
Yes. One, from the original transition, I have to mention my mom because she was literally like, I'm not going to say, nobody can do it without the support of their mom. Of course you can, but the support of my mom literally mentally, like literally the things she would say, like, there's no losing, you know, there's no risk. Like you got this. Like, you don't even have to think about the option of coming back home. Like, you know what I mean? And I literally told her, like, okay, mom, I'm going to pack up my Jeep. Will you ride with me? And she's like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, just her openness and eagerness and just positivity for my limitless, you know, future is just like, it was so encouraging. I literally drove here not knowing where I was going to stay, like not having an apartment, not having any friends, not having any loved ones. I literally knew no one in Los Angeles, in California, on the West Coast. None of my family even has ever been to LA. You know what I'm saying? So this was just totally new. I literally pulled up in my Jeep with, you know, my room and like some other things I bought in Baltimore to like for my future house. You know, when I told my mom I wanted to move, she would literally, we could be in Marshalls and she would be like, would you like that fork set? Would you want to buy this plate set for your house? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
she like literally like mentally and spiritually, and even what funds she did have, I think she mustered up like $1,600, you know, to give to me on my trip. That was all she had. And that was like my first month rent and like a couple $100. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was just like whatever she could do and however she could help, she was just there for me. So when I found my apartment in a couple days, she helped me move in. She helped me get situated. And I literally started from ground zero. Like, I started doing background on TV shows in Hollywood. And because I didn't know anyone, I lived right off of Hollywood Boulevard. I was like, well, I'm going to be an actor. I need to live in Hollywood. Like, which, trust me, Hollywood is not Hollywood. Hollywood is the one of the roughest parts besides Skid Row of Los Angeles. Like, it's rough. Like, Hollywood Boulevard is dangerous. So I was just there because I was like, this is relative. I need to be right here. And I started doing background. So I would do background a couple times a week, and that helped me pay my rent. And that helped me like meet people and overhear little things on set, like, oh, I need an agent. Oh, I need to get into this, or oh, I could do commercials at the same time, or, you know, just like figuring out things. And so then I literally figured out, like, okay, I might not be able to book a show off of this, but this can pay my rent, and then I could still go out and I can book myself on commercials. And then that led to my first agent, which led to like 2 more commercial agents. And now the agent I'm with now, I've been with her for about 4 years. I really like her, and I feel like these are things that, like, even if somebody tell you, it's not really, I don't want to say valuable, but you don't soak it in as much as like me learning firsthand basis, like, oh, this is what an agent is supposed to do and what they're not supposed to do, or this is what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do, you know. So it was really just a fun learning experience. But I would say it was a beautiful transition because I was aware the entire time and just knowing that I'm a student. And that's honestly what I aim to be in every room I walk in every conversation, just to be a student. Like, I already know what I know. What can I learn from you? You know, what can I learn from this set? Or what can I learn from these directors or from these other actors? Like, what do y'all know that I don't know? Because I'm sure it's a lot of stuff, you know?
yeah.
So honestly, it's all been beautiful. It has.
Though, I mean, somebody like yourself who, you know, seem like you're full of charisma, you full of energy, you got the hustle of the year. Like, you know, you fit well for that atmosphere in LA to prosper. So I'm sure when people heard that you was going to go to LA, I know they'd be like, man, she gonna make it. You know, she gonna be big. And speaking of that, I'm going to show this clip. I'm not sure if it's going to play the words, but let me pull it up.
There's a new team in the NFL.
One that plays for home. Everyone's home. Whether you're a rookie or a seasoned pro,
This team has your back. We can help you tackle any project.
We're the Lowe's home team, and anyone can be on it.
Are you in?
Try out for the Lowe's home team today.
So big shout out to you. You know, you spoke about agents and commercials. Big salute on that Lowe's commercial with the NFL's players, such as the legend Drew Brees. Big ups on that. Big ups on that. How was I mean, I don't know how much you can talk about that, but you know, how was filming that commercial? How was it?
Honestly, it was incredible. First of all, I mean, from every aspect, it was just incredible. First of all, my mom, I grew up in Lowe's. Okay, that's her favorite store. So we literally went there like all the time. So I knew she was gonna be so excited to see this commercial, and just being there, like the energy was just so good on set. I filmed for 2 days, but it was like a project filming for over a week. So it was a lot going on, but it was really exciting. It was really good energy, and it was just like a super plus that I get to grill in my spot. Like I'm literally grilling in my spot and I'm selling like grilled lamb chops in real life at the same
Real
time.
life and the commercial was real life.
Yeah.
Yo,
So
that's
it's like,
dope.
this is me. This is my spot. Like this is
Yeah.
real life. And it's just fun, because it's sports. So it's always just high energy.
Man, look, salute to you again on that.
Thank
I expect
you.
nothing less from you. Like, I only knew you for maybe about a year, a few interactions, obviously. But yo, you fit for this.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Trust me, I'm definitely looking at a long, long road. Like a long road.
Well, you're as someone who is an avid football fan, you and your agent did a genius job. Because when I tell you, while doing work with football in the background, and I can't really analyze as much, I want to say that commercial has ran like that commercial has ran more than commercials that are actually based around football. So
Yeah.
kudos to you, because it allows you to put yourself out there. And all of us, what I've learned subconsciously, people that I saw in commercials 20 years ago, when I turn on movies, I'm like, yo, that was the Pine Sol lady, that was the brawny guy, that was Mr. Clean. You know what I mean? So it's an amazing idea for you to build your brand and move forward with that. So transitioning back to the LA side of things. Now we gotta get into my tough question here. I gotta grind. So, everyone on here at some point, we originated from Baltimore, right?
Mm-hmm.
A couple of us are still here. People move from Baltimore City to Baltimore County and consider that as escaping. Like, I'm talking about people leave and go to Baltimore County and never come back to Baltimore City.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they will pass away and have never gone back into the city.
And feel like
What leads you? What leads you? You pack everything. You go to the West Coast, right? Most people would say, yo, live. Yeah, you come back here. You bring your brands here. You have businesses here. What is it about you that is different than the typical Baltimorean that says, I'm in LA, I'm living my dream, I'm creating successful businesses, but there's some value that I can add back home. So let me go back there and build some things there as well. What leads you to even want to do that?
One, the first thing I would have to say is that I see it's all bigger than me. Like, I'm not, working every day just for me to eat. I'm not like waking up and wanting to be this big movie star for my ego. I'm doing it to inspire people, to encourage people, and like I said, to make the world a better place. So in every way that I can, I would feel foolish just to come out here and be great and, oh, I made it, I live in LA, and not take it back. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, my mom didn't raise me like that. It's like, I don't believe in, oh, I'm out of that, bye. That still exists, and it's still a beautiful place, and it's a place that made me. It's a place that I really lived until I was 19 years old. I went to school there. All my friends, I really grew up there. So I feel like it's important to take care of home, and it's important to add to, especially where you come from, of course in the world, but especially where you come from. I feel like I have so much to give, and I want to give it to everywhere, especially my hometown, because it's so many people who look like me. It's so many people who feel like if they just moved to the county, they've made it, and that's their biggest accomplishments. That's all they need to do. And especially if they move their mom out to the county, it's just like, I made it. What more do I need to do? But it's like, no. And now I have so many friends from Baltimore who come out here. They'll even sleep on my couch. I'm like, yes, come out here. Like, come see this big place. Like, come visit and come see that it's so much more to the world. And I, once again, give that back to my mom, because she had me traveling at such a young age. Like, going up to New York to stay with my cousin for 2 months at 13 years old. You know, it's just like exploring and seeing, wow, it's so much I can get from out here and bring it back to where I'm, you know, where I'm coming from and where all of my other loved ones are. Literally, like I said, all of my family is still in Baltimore. Like everyone I grew up with is still in Baltimore. I literally don't know anyone out here who is a family member or like a childhood friend who has moved to LA. And I honestly, I don't like that because it's like the world is so big. Like, I want to show you that you can do whatever you want to do. Like I said, people have millions off of coffee beans. You can sell crayons. You know, you can sell a toy. You can sell a water gun and, you know, make all this money and then do whatever you want to do. And you can have a big house in Baltimore. You can own property in Baltimore. You can do all these other things. It doesn't make sense for me to, you know, try to come up and live all good out here all by myself or just with my fiance. I want to be with my family and I want to make that place a better place because I would love to show my kids Baltimore more developed one day with more money invested. It makes me very sad when I go home and I see so many boarded up abandoned houses and just like even people that other people aren't helping. It's just like, that's not cool. And that's not how we're ever going to get ahead. So I'm so for the bigger picture and so for like us as one moving ahead because me is just a what do you call like a figment of your imagination. It's an illusion that is just me. Like we're all connected. So when I go up, we all can go up. You know what I mean? Like when you go up, we should all go up. It shouldn't just be, oh, this one person. That's an illusion. We're all here. We're all humans. We're all in the same time, same place. The time is now. Let's just be great together. So that's the goal.
Well, kudos to you for even thinking that way. You know, for me, the biggest correlation I make to what you're doing is, you know, Baltimore's always been well known for basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, as people from here went into the NBA and became successful, the NBA in college basketball started to put a focus and say, maybe we need to look for kids from Baltimore. And I think with your ascension and acting, building your brand in LA
Mm-hmm.
and not disassociating yourself, because what I find is there are a lot
Yeah.
of people that will go to LA and then be, oh, I'm Aarin from LA.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you go on jobs and you get opportunities, right, they identify you as, hey, LA has built another great one. By you
Yeah.
still having a connection to Baltimore, that next young person that is an emerging star, maybe someone will say, hey, maybe there's some legitimate acting talent on the East Coast in other places. And kudos to you for even having the willingness to be able to do that. Now, staying with that point, so you're in the big city, you're in LA, and now I'm trying to build something. Everything that I've heard of LA is that people go there to lose, right? Like I came back home, I had a great career, but what led me to my career was I spent 5 years and I got killed in LA, and I realized that I need to go back home and do XYZ.
I can show you just down the street. We have a area called Skid Row. It's the population. You've heard of that?
Yeah. It's where like I guess the homeless people or people who I guess made it sorta and then they fell off and
So that's what it is. That's what Skid Row is.
From my house. Skid Row is a real neighborhood of blocks. It's not just one block. It's long blocks, 4 blocks, and all in between those blocks of homeless people who are literally, I mean, some are comfortable, some are not. Some have tents that are bigger than the average apartment. You know what I mean? I've literally seen all different types of things. But first of all, that was started for people like closing a mental hospital and just letting these people out on the streets. Like the rent is ridiculous. You spend so much money in just trying to live here. And then if you get caught up in the wrong things, like you'll be down there. Like it's so easy to go downhill in LA, especially trying to keep up with false images or that's why I always try to convey my real personality on the internet. I know Instagram isn't for, all the too real stuff, but like
Right.
I try to convey that because people will come out here and get so wrapped up into all the things that are not real that they'll end out down there. I wish I could show it to you because You should Google it though when we get off of this call. It's very disheartening. Like, it's sad.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So, okay, so you're there, you experience Skid Row, but none of that deters you.
No.
And I see that you're still pushing forward. How valuable was it for you to meet someone and your fiance who seems from a distance to have the same vision as you? That as an entrepreneur, so I'll use myself for example. I'm married to someone who was an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never gotten pushback on, hey, you're working too late, you're up too late, you're doing this, you're doing that, right? Like I've never experienced that. So for you, how important was it for the growth of your business in LA and all of your brands to have someone that supportive?
My fiance is my everything. Honestly, I am blessed to have my other half as my lover and soon to be legal husband. But honestly, he's been my husband since day one because I felt that ambition. I mean, never mind, he has ambitious tattoo right here, like all of his arm. Like that's what he's about. Like he was gonna, from growing up the best at the sports team that got flown out to Paris from New Orleans. Like he literally was like, I'm gonna be the best at everything. Now, my fiance experienced Katrina, which really took a toll on, his family, just a lot of things. So it's just like he's been through things that when I go through something, he's able to be like, babe, that's nothing. Let's go. Or, babe, this is what it is, but it's okay because we're going to get through. He'll never allow me to stay upset about something. And I'm not the type of person to get upset about something, but, even my car got broken into, which happens a lot in LA as well. And he just quickly like, listen, we're going to snap back from this. So that's very important. Someone with a straightforward overview, vision of everything, not going to get caught up in this, not going to stay sad about this or disappointed or hung up on that, but just keep it moving. He's also very, I want to say factual driven, which brings me balance because as an Aries, I kind of feel like I get caught up in my passions and I'm just like, I'm very spontaneous. I'll be like, let's do this. Let's do it today. Let's invest in this today. You know what I mean? So it's just like,
right.
This sounds like a great idea, but he'll be like, wait a minute. Let's see who else did this and what happened, and he'll kind of like, he's my backbone and kind of like everything I need in the opposite, So for me, honestly, linking up with my fiance, and we've been together now for over 4 years, it's literally like my other half, my balance, so it's very, very important. And I can't imagine doing a lot of things without him. And trust me, I've done so much on my own. I'm so independent. I don't need nobody to pay for nothing. You know what I'm saying? All of that stuff. But no, I feel like everyone needs someone. And I'm very grateful to have the fiance that I have.
Yeah. Shout out to him. I met him twice, super cool guy. Right off the bat, I guess I felt that energy. Like, yo, he a hustler too.
Right.
Yes, he is.
I had to check out his page when I first seen him. Like, hold up, man. Hey, he definitely from around here. Let me check out his page. I'm like, oh yeah, he buzzing. I think I went in my brother's room, and I seen he had $100 bill that was his brand, and I was like, yo, I know that brand. I seen it on IG somewhere. I was like. Trap, what was it? True Rich or Trap Design? I was like, yep. That's exactly where I know that from. I'm like, man, look, yo, he a hustler as well. So definitely that's the balance, man, which is dope. Doing my research and trying to find your page because you had changed your name.
I did.
I was searching Aarin, and I seen Aarin C Speaks.
Yes.
What's this? Like, okay, maybe she just changed her name. So I clicked on the page, like, no, this is another page, aka another business. So I'm like, okay, as we always talk about on this channel, we keep it real, we keep it 100. A lot of people that's new to the entrepreneurship space or new to the self-help, motivational speaking. Everybody want to be a motivational speaker. They got one business that did well. Quick, and now they're selling courses. So I was like, no, I hope I ain't selling courses. I scrolled all the way down. I was like, wow. it dated all the way back to 2015. You know, you like little small young Aarin, and you were still spitting game and spitting wisdom. And I was like, okay, so this wasn't something that was some fly by night. I'm successful now. Let me start a page. You was doing that, you know, almost 7 years ago, which I find super dope. How did you stumble upon the idea of creating a page for that when you know that space was rare back then, back in 2015, 2014? Motivational speaking, if you weren't in network marketing, you weren't tapped into like networks, you know, motivational speaking and philanthropy and everything like that.
Yeah, honestly, I would have to once again say from my mom, because my mom, by, you know, I guess career terms, she's a guidance counselor for Baltimore City Public School System, and she has been for most of my life. So I've just always been around her, and just having that, I don't even want to say positive outlook, because people look at that as some cliche, some fairy tale, but a realistic outlook. You know, if someone comes to her sad, she's like, okay, but there's tomorrow and there's the rest of today. So what are you going to do about it now? You know what I mean? It's kind of like that realist. And so many people put like a negative connotation on real, but really real is amazing. Real is wonderful. Like, I can breathe right now. That's real. I have eyes that are working for me, a brain that's working for me. This is the real. You know, don't get caught up in yesterday that can't touch you. So why are you trying to touch it? And so I literally would just have, you know, my girlfriends talking to me about stuff, and even me talking to myself about stuff like, Aarin, you tripping. You're not about to be upset about that, or you're not about to stress over that. Like, either you can do something about it or you can't. So my first videos were literally like to my girlfriends who I would say something to, and then I'm like, somebody else might need to hear that. And then I would say something to myself, and I'm like, somebody else might need to hear this. And so that's literally what I was doing. Like, those videos all the way from 2015, I'm just sitting in my first studio apartment, like, listen, if somebody makes you mad, why are you letting them make you mad? You know? And it's just like, it's real. Like, and it's crazy because like now a lot of people call me a motivational speaker, but I never labeled myself as that. I was just speaking. And that's why the page is Aarin C Speaks, because I'm just talking. And I knew it was too much, you know, it's already, I advertise so much on my personal page. That's why I deleted just so much, because it just gets so confusing, you know, with all my businesses and just everything that I'm doing. So I was just like, I just need a separate page where I'm just talking and people could just come to this. They don't even have to worry about what I look like or what I drive or what I wear. It's just, look, if you want to hear some real stuff, go head over to Aarin C Speaks, because it might help you out, you know?
So salute to you on, you know, actually being ahead of the wave, because now it's a whole wave for that.
It is.
Salute to you, you know, big salute to your moms as well, because it seems like, you know, to me, your mom plays a huge role as far as the woman who you became today, your success, your mindset, you know, your positive outlook on the world as well as life. You know, the whole nine. So I haven't met your mom, but, you know, big salute to her.
Yes, that's my lady. I talk to her every day, and I think about her in every other thing I'm doing. Seriously. From balancing my checkbooks to opening a new account to thinking about starting investing in something, everything. Like, it's literally her. Even the way I talk to somebody, I respond to something. It's my mom. She's a great person.
Yeah. As a daughter, you know, as a father of a daughter, well, actually both of us, Jason, we both, you know, business owners, entrepreneurs, and, you know, we trying to raise our daughters like, look, you know, you got to be on this, you got to be on that. So, man, your mom, I'm seeing you, right? I'm like, dang, man, I got to get my daughter on some stuff. She 9? Man, she's
right.
Honestly, the most important thing I have to say that my mom did, and I'm 5 foot even, she believed in all my dreams. When I told her I wanted to play basketball, she literally put together her money that she could, got a basketball court in the back. She's like, whatever you want to do, I'm going to support you. And I swear, she's literally been like that since I was a little kid. Like, I could be like, Mom, I want to do photography. She's going to give me a camera. Now I'm good at photography. You know, she's going to, or like, somehow the resources are going to come that I can learn something about this. I can tap in and see whether I like it or I don't. And I feel like that's what life is about, you know? A lot of confusion comes in when people get too caught up in like, well, why aren't you good at this? Or why aren't you doing this? But it's just like, well, what do you like? You know, and what would you like more of and what would you like less of? You would like more of maybe this kind of work? Let's tap into this. Maybe we can open a business in this line, you know? So she really just put everything in my face and let me pick and supported whatever I went with, you know? And that's priceless.
It is. It is. It is, man. And
It definitely is, and I think Aaron, kudos to you again. I mean, you hitting everything on the head. Just your willingness to even show that love to your mom,
Oh,
because
yeah.
I think sometimes,
My lady.
when parents sacrifice as a parent to
Mm-hmm.
the level that your mom has sacrificed, the gift for her, like I'm sure you're going to continue to hold her name in lights and do whatever for her, whatever. But just hearing you say, she helped me get to this space,
Mm-hmm.
it metaphorically pays her back for everything that she has done. And I think sometimes as kids, we get to a point in life where financially things are good, right? So you want to start let me send you a bag, let me buy you this. Ideally, let me help you retire. Let me do all of these things. When sometimes, to your point, a simple phone call or a simple thank you for giving me game and helping me get into this space is really all they want. Not saying they're gonna turn the other stuff away, but it's like if you weren't calling your mom as much, right? And this is movie star Aaron who's on set, you're sending her cars and houses or whatever. The feeling I get is that your mom has the kind of personality of, I don't want this damn car. You haven't called me in a month. So, like, you know what I mean? So it's, kudos to you for showing your mom, that level of love. And my last question before we let you go is, you have done a lot very fast. And I'd like to act as a father to a daughter like sexism isn't a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to lie and say that women are provided the same opportunities as men, but I know that that's not the truth. So if you could say something to, girls or young women who are aspiring to be an Aaron, to leave their comfort zone, what would you say to them? Because you're someone who is living proof of not internet lip service, not 1999 courses with Dior bags as proof that you're getting money, but someone who's really doing the work and cares about the people. What would you say to that young person?
I would say to know yourself. When you know yourself, you know that you are valuable. You know that you are an asset. You know that you are one of a kind. And I feel like that's the superpower. One, to be honest, it may seem like the world is, geared towards men and, men, Jeff Bezos is the richest man and da 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 da. But women are really the key to the world. Like women can do so many other things that men just can't do. I can personally get in so many more rooms than a man who looks just like me, just because I'm a woman. And I would say you have to harness that superpower. You don't let anyone take that away from you, not for whatever it could be, the way you look, the way you dress. You should carry yourself presentable because, people first impressions, people thoughts, you understand the way people perceive things. I understand when I walk in a room and someone smells my perfume, they're going to treat me different. So you understand the way people treat you and why, but know who you are and harness that power. I will never let that power go. I know when I walk in a room, I'm an asset. I know that you want to know what I have going on, and I'll let you know what I have going on, and you can tell me what you have going on. Never come into the room like such the underdog mentality. I come into the room as a student, but never the underdog. Never the, oh, woe is me, or what could you do for me? Like, it's like, what's up? I got something to bring to the table. Where's the table?
Awesome.
for sure, for sure. All right. So before we close this thing out, we both asked our guests one random question.
Oh.
All right. So my random question is, what's one of your most memorable fun moments as a kid?
Oh, as a kid, because I was about to say snowmobile in Iceland. That was crazy. But
Sound fun.
let me see. It would have to be snowboarding with my godfather. Honestly, I think it's very important to have. That's one thing my mom did a great job at, having so many different people in my life. Like my godfather, he took me, and it's not the richest man, you know, but he had connections. Like he was working for the ski resort, and then he was able to take me skiing, which totally opened my eyes. The average kid in Baltimore doesn't get to go skiing, doesn't get to go
Doesn't get to go
snowboarding.
outside of Baltimore.
Yeah,
That's a fact.
really. So like just being able to go out on those hills and just so far away from the city, you just come back in the city with a total different outlook. You realize the world is so much bigger than it is. And I think that's a troublesome problem. You know, a lot of people just can't see the world for as big as it truly is. So that's one of the great things that I love, you know, and I still snowboard to this day. So it's fun.
Yeah, I tried it. Didn't go well. Almost broke my neck, but it was still fun.
It's all in the hips. You gotta just move your hips. Don't move your feet. Move the hips.
Yeah, keep trying, bro. You gotta keep trying.
I ain't been back since. I ain't gonna lie, man.
All right, so my random question is, okay, so we're gonna take your fiance out of the picture. You're in the car. Mm-hmm. You're on the beltway. The you know you going to a job, whatever. What is your guilty pleasure song where you don't want him to see you listening to it? Like you going banging in the car by yourself, but you will never play it in front of anyone else to let them know you like it.
Okay, first of all, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not this type of person. Like if you're in my car, you're gonna listen to whatever I'm listening to. Whether it's in the grass, whether it's like Anita Baker, whether it's like Kodak Black, like you're in here. So yeah. But it's this song, it's actually a gospel song, and I'm very spiritual. I'm very no religion over here. It's this gospel song that is, I think it's called Wait on the Lord, but it's like, why can't I wait on the Lord? And I really love that song because I'm all about divine timing. I don't rush anything. I like everything organic. I'm not one to force anything. You know how many auditions I've been to and how many jobs I've booked? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot. I have to audition a lot. I have to work a lot. And so I'm never going to worry. And I keep that in my head, and I will literally blast that song when I'm waiting for a callback, when I'm waiting to hear that I booked the job. I'm like, why can't I, wait on the Lord?
Right.
I'm going to wait. It's okay. Like, I'm here in the present. It's this present. So it's great. Like, everything's good. I love that song.
Cool. And you inspired me now. Now I'm playing my guilty pleasure music in front of anybody that's in my vehicle.
Absolutely.
You got to take what comes with it. All right. That's a bet. I like that.
Yeah.
Aarin, look, it's been fun talking to you. Salute to you once again. Not just for coming on the show, but for also all of your accomplishments. I know you just touched the surface on just a few. I know it's many more, that's out there. Hopefully, we'll get a book or we'll get a documentary on you someday. I know you got some things in the work. Shout out to your moms, for obviously planting those seeds, because that's important. I want to make sure us as parents, me and Jay, I'm not sure if you got any kids, but it's important to plant those seeds in our kids early. As we can see is the outcome of yourself. Your mom's planted those seeds early. So, big salute to moms. Anything else, bro, before we close out?
Yeah, Aarin, this message actually is for Aaron's agent. I know who Aarin is going to become.
Period.
So when we come back in a few to get that interview, I wanna put it out there that we were early on the Aarin train of knowing the success. So I just want to put it out there for Aaron's agent. Please, I understand our platform is going to grow as well.
Yes.
But when she's doing the view and the reel and everything else, we just want our little 10 or 15 minute slot. We'll shrink it down, let the fitter in so we can update people on what Aarin is doing. And thank you so much. And hopefully, once the pandemic calms down, our goal is to start to go to certain places and do events on location. And we definitely would love to come out to LA and have you show us around and get a feel for it. And I'm comfortable in speaking for Rel and saying that you have the full support of our brand and our show and behind you, and we see nothing but greatness in you.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you guys so much for having me on here. I can't wait to show you LA in all of its glory, the beaches, the mountains, all of the limitless possibilities, and so that you guys can also bring it back, you know, and just keep it
That's
going.
a fact.
Facts.
Awesome.
Facts.
Thanks, Aaron.
Well, again, thanks again for coming on. Make sure y'all follow her on Instagram. That's at Hey Aaron. Y'all see the tag right there. And actually, if you just type in her first name,
Follow all the pages. Start with Hey Aaron.
All 10 pages.
All of them.
All 10 businesses. So y'all can check out, you know, everything that she's a part of and everything that she's doing. And just stick along with her journey, man, because, you know, she's already successful. But, you know, she I already know she's up 4 a.m. planning out how life is going to be at 50, you know, when she's a billionaire. Doing so much crazy stuff.
Thank you, guys.
All right, later.
Bye-bye.